Hey guys! So for the past month, or at least the past couple weeks, I have really been feeling like I am falling in a reading slump. Like I'm just really struggling to read anything. And the books that I have on my TBR for this month are all ones that I'm super excited about and that I really want to read, but it's just not happening. I think partly because I'm just really stressed out and I'm having a hard time focusing on anything. So I decided today just to put a pause on my TBR and pick up some romance books that I have on my Kindle. So I thought that I would just turn on my Kindle and whatever romance books are at the top that I have most recently downloaded, I'll read some of those. So let's take a look because I have no idea what my most recent ebooks are. I download ebooks every single day. So we have, ooh, some really good choices. Okay, these up here, I'll say that they're read or that I'm 99% in. I haven't read any of them. I just opened them, so I don't know why they say read. So I guess I'll read those three. And then from the second two rows, maybe I'll do Harbor by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and then Will You Be Mine by, I don't know who that's by. I can't see the author name. So yeah, I'll do Go Deep, Neighbourly, Being Hospitable, Harbor, and then Will You Be Mine? Maybe I'll also do Can I Come Over and Ringmaster, although I don't really know much about either of those. But I know these 5 are all by Black authors, and I'm pretty sure that they are Black love romances, meaning that they are between characters who are both Black, or all Black, because I know at least 2 of these are polyamorous books. So I'm gonna start with Being Hospitable by Mika James. This I know is a sapphic romance that is supposed to be pretty steamy, and I think it's best friends little sister. So yeah, I'm gonna start this and make some coffee so that I can wake myself up. Okay, so I finished Being Hospitable and I really liked it. I thought I would just kind of chat about it while I do my makeup. I'm not gonna do a lot since I'm not going anywhere today. Oh, you guys can see my beautiful maid of honor dress that I probably will never get to wear because the wedding, I don't know if I've even talked about this on my channel. I think I might have mentioned before that I'm gonna be in a wedding, but I never said whose wedding it was. It's my parents' wedding. They are getting married and they've now pushed their wedding back 5 times. So who knows when or if that's gonna happen this year. But this is my dress. You can't really see all of it, but it's so beautiful. But it's a beautiful dress and I just wanna wear it. But the world has other plans. So, Being Hospitable was really good. I feel like I've mentioned this before that sapphic romances or sapphic novellas tend to be more on the cute side rather than sexy, which is fine. I think we're all here for a nice cute sapphic moment, but we also would like a nice sexy sapphic moment, and that's exactly what this was. It was so steamy, so steamy and so good. It's only 70 pages, so it took me no time at all to read. But it's about this girl who her best friend's little sister is going to be staying with her for a couple weeks while she's trying to get into this internship program, and they're both really attracted to each other, but there is a little bit of an age gap. I think it's maybe 10 years, if not less than that. The sister just graduated college, so she's maybe 21. And then the main character is maybe 30, so it's not a huge age gap. But she's never wanted to make her attraction known about the little sister because she never wanted to cross a line with their friendship by hooking up with the little sister. But now that they're living together, it's very difficult, especially because the little sister she's a little seductress, you know? She sees what she wants and she goes after it. So she's like walking around the apartment in her underwear and like doing all these things to really entice the main character. And yeah, like I said, it was only about 70 pages, but when it comes to romance novellas, basically all I want from it is to be sexy and the characters to have good chemistry. And it did both of those things. And I just really appreciated having a sapphic romance that was super steamy. You know, like the sapphics, we deserve smut too. So yeah, I think I'm going to end up giving this 4 stars. I never really know what to rate novellas because they're just so short. It's like either it was good or it was bad, and there's not a lot. I don't really find a lot of like fluctuation, you know? Either it's gonna be 4 or 5 stars or it's gonna be 1 star when it comes to novellas because they're just so short, you know? It's either they're great or they're terrible. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars, and I'm definitely excited to read more from this author. I'm also currently in the middle of binge watching New Girl, so I probably will on and off be watching that today because I really don't have that much else going on today that I need to do. Okay, let me just add a little bit mascara and then I'm gonna call it for my makeup since I'm not going anywhere. I don't even know why I'm bothering with this. I also got this dress recently and I haven't had the opportunity to wear it anywhere because I haven't been going anywhere. So I just decided to put it on. I'm kind of having like a self-care day, I guess. Trying to feel good about myself. Also, ignore all of the books behind me. I literally have so many books just like piled up that I need to organize. Maybe I'll do that today as well. I don't know. We have endless possibilities here. Maybe I will tackle organizing all my piles of books. Loki is currently outside enjoying some sunlight. And while he does that, I'm gonna start Neighbourly by Katrina Jackson, who's an author that I have been wanting to read from for a long time. I've heard really good things about her books. And this one is a polyamorous romance. I think it's about 2 couples who live next door to each other or live near each other, and both of the wives of the couples are attracted to each other, so they all get together. So that sounds good. I haven't read many romances about already established couples, and out of all the polyamorous books that I've read, I don't think I've ever read any about 2 couples. It's always like a couple and another person, or 3 random people, but never 2 couples. So, very excited to get into this. I also did want to talk about the coffee that I made earlier today because I already know I'm gonna get a lot of comments of people asking like, what is that coffee? I'm not sponsored by them or anything. They didn't send me the coffee. I found them through an Instagram ad and I've been trying their coffee now for a couple weeks and I love it. It's Vietnamese coffee and all of the individual coffee bags are in sustainable packaging and the coffee is so good. Like I have a Keurig and I use K-cups and stuff, but I just never love the coffee that I make with my Keurig. It's always just like acceptable. But this coffee is so good. Oh my god. So yeah, I will link their Instagram down below if you want to check it out. But I just thought I'd mention that because every time I show coffee or talk about coffee, I always get comments of people asking me what it is or where I get it. And since I'm trying something new, I wanted to share that with you guys. It's also really great for people who, like, if you live in a dorm room and you're not allowed to have a coffee maker, because like when I lived in a dorm room, we weren't allowed to have coffee makers, and that was like the most difficult thing ever because you don't need a coffee maker, you just need hot water, which you can make like in a kettle or whatever you have to make hot water with. Okay, so I finished Neighbourly by Katrina Jackson, and this was so good. I can't believe I've never read Katrina Jackson before. So basically this, like I said, is a polyamorous romance about 2 couples who are next door neighbors. One of the couples moves into this building and the other couple are the landlords of the building and their apartments are right next door to each other. The 2 women in each of the couples have physical attractions to each other, and one of the couples is already like in an open relationship. The boyfriends, or one of the couples is married and the other one they've been dating for a while. So the husband and the boyfriend are very open and accepting to their ladies exploring these attractions, And I freaking loved that. Like when I went into it, I was kind of like, okay, one of these guys is gonna get all up in his feelings and be like, you wanna cheat on me? But they were both very like open and supportive and like, you know what, if this is what you're feeling, you need to explore that. Oh my God, we love healthy, supportive couples. So yeah, all four of them kind of enter into this sexual relationship, but it's mostly focused on the women and exploring their attraction together. But it was so good. There was, however, one scene that both of these books so far that I've read had very similar instances where one of the characters is masturbating and the other character hears them. And Being Hospitable, it was because like she was in the room down the hall and left the door open. And then in Neighbourly, since they live in apartments next to each other, they share a wall, and I guess the wall is like super thin so they could hear each other. And I just thought that was funny because I'm like, does that happen often? Like, do people just be out here hearing other people masturbate in their homes? But I thought that was funny how it happened in both books. But yeah, this was like really sexy. I just really liked how both of the partners, both of the guys, were just very like, they were very not threatened and like very trusting and supportive, and there was a lot of communication. It was great. I loved it. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, and I'm super excited to read more by Katrina Jackson. I definitely need to go through her Goodreads and see like what else sounds good. So next, I think I'm going to start Go Deep by Rilzy Adams. I have seen a lot about this author the past couple months on Twitter. A lot of the people that I follow have been reading her books, and she has a bunch of other books that I really want to read, but this one recently came out and like everyone has been saying how steamy it is. I have no idea what it's about, so I'm just gonna go into it, and I'm very excited. Okay, so I'm almost done with Go Deep, but I wanted to share with you guys this quote that I'm like, oh my God, I'm in my feels over. So basically this is a friends to lovers romance, and the guy, he just said to her, I've loved you for my entire life, but now I'm falling in love with you. Like, oh my God, get me in my feels. That is so cute. So I finished Go Deep and I'm giving this 5 stars. It was so good. So basically, like I said, this was a friends to lovers romance about a girl who is a romance author, and her last couple of books have been getting really bad reviews because she's in a like sexual rut. Her boyfriend recently broke up with her and she kind of hasn't been feeling very confident. So she decides to ask her best friend if he will have sex with her to kind of like give her some inspiration for her smutty romances. And he's like very reluctant about it at first because he's never thought of her in like a sexual or romantic way. They've been best friends their entire lives. Their mothers were best friends and they were born like around the same time, and so they have a very close relationship. And he has always struggled with relationships because he puts her first, and none of his girlfriends are okay with that. They always end up giving him an ultimatum of like, you need to stop being her friend or we're gonna break up. And he always chooses her over his girlfriends. So they decide to start hooking up, and that really like changes their relationship. I loved this. So first of all, it was very sexy. Like, wow. At first I was a little bit nervous because I feel like when it comes to friends to lovers, I usually prefer it when one or both of the characters has had like hidden feelings for the other and neither of them has wanted to admit it. But in this one, they've never had like feelings for each other or attraction for each other until they started having sex, and then that changed things. And at first I was like, I don't know if I really like that, but I think the way that Rilzy Adams did it was really well done. And it, like, I don't know, it just made sense. Like once I started reading it and they started like their relationship started changing, it just felt natural and like it made sense. It didn't feel forced. I was worried that like since they've never been attracted to each other that it would feel kind of forced, but it didn't. And like that quote that I showed you guys was so cute. And the guy, his name was Xander. I loved him. Oh my God, like book boyfriend material. He was such a good character. He was so like sexy but sweet and like confident but very nurturing. He was great. So yeah, I give this 5 stars. Another author who I am so excited to read her backlist. So let's see. I have 2 left that I for sure want to read. I have Will You Be Mine? Oh wait, this is also by Rilzy Adams. I did not realize that because on the display here you can't see the author's name. Ooh, I'm excited to read this now. I have no idea what this one is about, but I know that I added a ton of her books onto my TBR recently. I feel like if I scroll, there's gonna be more down here. So I think since this one is by Rilzy Adams, I think I'm gonna start Harbor by Rebecca Weatherspoon, who's an author that I love. And this is a series, what is the series called? Beards and Bondage series. I've read the first book in this series and I really liked it, but I'm so excited for this one because it is a polyamorous relationship, I think. So it looks like it's about 3 people who all have had the loves of their lives taken, like murdered by somebody, and so they kind of come together with their grief. Yeah, sounds great. I love Rebecca Weatherspoon, so I am very excited to start this. Also, the cover is just like, hello. So I decided to order some Dominos and I'm gonna watch some New Girl. I'm on season 6. It's a rewatch. I've watched the show many times. I just love this show a lot, and this rewatch has been super fun. It's just like a good comfort show. It's been a really good like quarantine show. But the food that I got, I haven't had Domino's in forever. I just got some Alfredo pasta and then a cheese pizza. Nothing special. So it is now 10 o'clock. I took a little bit of a reading break to watch a movie with my friends and I watched a lot of New Girl. But I am about, I want to say like 30% into Harbor and I am really enjoying it. So basically it's about these 3 people, a woman and then 2 guys, and they both find out that their partners were cheating on them and killed while cheating. So like her fiance and the 2 guys' girlfriend, who they're in a polyamorous relationship with, went to a hotel together and were having an affair, and this guy came in and shot both of them and they died. They find out when the police come to tell them that their partners are dead. That's how they find out that they were cheating. So the 3 of them are like dealing with their grief and the fact that the people that they loved died, and also that they were cheating on them. And so far where I'm at, they haven't, the 3 of them, the girl and the 2 guys, haven't started a relationship. They've kind of had conversations about it and about how like they're all dealing with the trauma and the grief, and they don't like, they're attracted to her and she's attracted to them, but none of them want to like jump into anything and like do anything that is going to derail their emotional journey of getting over the grief. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I love Rebecca Weatherspoon's writing, and I feel like all of her books that I've read so far have a lot of discussion around consent, and the characters are really good at communicating with each other and communicating what they want and what they need. So I really enjoyed that, and I love the 2 male characters. Their relationship with each other is very interesting. So I'm excited to see where the girl, Brooklyn, is going to fit into their dynamic. But I think I'm gonna finish this tomorrow, and I will continue vlogging tomorrow as well because I want to finish this, and then also I want to read the other Rilzy Adams book. I'm forgetting what it's called. Also, Loki really wants to go to sleep. He keeps looking at me like, what the hell are we still doing on the couch? Why are you so cute? Who allowed this? Good morning, guys. So this morning I finished Harbor by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars. It was fantastic. I feel like I realized that I have never rated a polyamorous romance less than 5 stars or less than 4.5 stars. I always rate them very, very high. So maybe at some point I need to do some sort of like polyamorous romance reading vlog, because apparently I just always love them. And this was no exception. I loved it so much, especially because it felt very balanced. Like obviously the two guys, Shaw and Vaughn, already had an established relationship and they're very much like in love and committed to one another. So their relationship throughout the book was a lot stronger than with Brooklyn, but each of them had their own relationship with her and their own dynamic with her. And I just really liked the way that they all worked together. And I just loved Shaw and Vaughn so much. Like their relationship with each other was so good. But it was definitely a lot like emotionally heavier than the other books that I had read for this reading vlog, because all of those were pretty light reads, and this one was definitely more on the emotional side because of everything that the characters were dealing with. But it was great, and the sex scenes were amazing. Rebecca Weatherspoon is just like a goddess. She's incredible. I've never disliked one of her romances. Also, this was the longest book that I'd read for this vlog. All the other ones were around like 130 pages, whereas this one was like 250. So this one was like a substantial novel. So now I'm going to read the last romance for this vlog, which is Will You Be Mine by Rilzy Adams. I'm very excited for this. No clue what it's about. Also, I really like the cover. So I'm gonna get started reading this and then I will check in and we will finish the vlog. But honestly, so far, this might be one of the most successful vlogs I've ever done because, oh my God, I have loved all of these romances. Okay, so I just finished Will You Be Mine, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't love it, but it was completely not the book's fault at all. What the book is about is it is a friends to lovers romance. It's about this guy who's been in love with his friend for a while, but she is completely oblivious to how he feels. And the plot of the book is basically that she gets invited to her ex-best friend's wedding, and she was in love with him, and like everybody in their friend group knew that she was in love with him, but the feelings like weren't reciprocated. And so now she's invited to his wedding and she doesn't want to show up alone, so she asks her friend to pretend to be her boyfriend and go to the wedding with her. I'm just like, reading this book, I felt like that meme that's like, I am in this tweet and I don't like it. Like, I'm not gonna get into like my cringy romantic past, but I was in this book and I did not like it. Just like, you know, there's some things that I want to pretend never happened in my life and that is super embarrassing, and this book just like reminded me of things and I didn't have a good time. But again, like I said, that was purely a personal problem because the romance was really good. I really liked the romance between her and her friend who was pretending to be her boyfriend. And the writing was great. Like, I definitely can tell Rilzy Adams is going to be a new author that I just love, and I'm excited to read more of her books. The plot for this one was just not for me, but I'm sure other people are really going to love it because the tropes were all there. The tropes were great. Like, he's in love with her and he has to pretend to be her boyfriend at this wedding of a guy she used to love. So much tension. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to rate this one because if I was rating it off of enjoyment, it would be low, but the actual quality of the book was like really good. It was just like my own issue. So I don't think I'm gonna give it a rating. It doesn't really feel fair because it is not Rilzy Adams' fault that I do not want to be reminded of embarrassing moments in my life. So those were all the books that I am gonna read for this vlog. I had so much fun. I definitely feel like I accomplished what I set out to accomplish, which is to get out of my reading slump. I feel like I'm so ready to read all the books on my TBR, and I found 4 new romance authors that I really like and I'm excited to read more from. And then I read another book from Rebecca Weatherspoon, who's an author that I already loved. I also mentioned how all of these books were by Black authors and they were Black love romances. So all of the characters in all of these books were Black characters, which was really great. I think I've read a lot of romances by Black authors, but I realized almost all of them were interracial romances. I think there were, prior to this vlog, there was only 2 or maybe 3 that I'd read that were between both Black characters. So I'm glad now that I have 5 more to recommend when people ask me for Black love romances. I also quickly wanted to just mention the two people who I pretty much got all of these book recommendations from for the books in this video. So the first person is Mina. I talk about Mina a lot. I freaking love her and her channel, but she talks about Katrina Jackson a lot. And I also got the recommendation for Being Hospitable from her. And then the other person is Sil from the Book Voyager. She is a blogger who I've been following for a long time, and I probably get like 95% of my romance recommendations from her. I definitely recommend following her on Twitter because she's constantly posting her recommendations specifically for diverse romances. But she also, like within the past week or two, started a booktube channel, which is awesome. So I will link both of them down below. Definitely check them out if you're looking for romance recommendations. Yeah, that is going to be the end of this vlog. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!